Welcome, everybody, to our Stories That Inspire. My name is Lisa Collazo. I'm an independent sales director with Mary Kay, and my co host.
Hey guys, welcome. This is Sharon Miranda, and I'm a senior sales director with Mary Kay. So happy that you guys are here with us.
So today we have the incredible, God-fearing, elite senior Cadillac sales director, Christine Denton. So she's going to share a little bit about her story, and then we're just going to have our girlfriend time. So Christine, take it away.
Yay! Hi, everybody. Thank you for letting me be on today. Thank you for the invitation, Lisa and Sharon. And I'm honored to share my story today. And thank you for your time. If somebody invited you to be here, thank you for taking time of your day to listen in. Gosh, I feel like, my journey feels like it was just yesterday. I made the decision to begin my business because I'm remembering this season so well because I began during the last recession, a different recession, but a recession nonetheless. And I'm so grateful for the decision I made in a difficult time when I didn't see what was coming ahead. To give you a brief rundown, I was in a pharmaceutical industry, which at that time in the peak of 08, 09, had a big shift and change due to the market crisis. And I had been in there for about 3 years, and I was presented the Mary Kay business around that season and time. But I only said yes because of the challenge, like the product, made my skin look good. Well, 3 weeks after joining Mary Kay for all those fun things and also some credit card goal debts. I had about 10 credit cards to be exact that I wanted to pay off at 25. Don't judge me, any shoppers out there. So I had made some poor habits and, I wanted to sustain my shopping habits, to be honest with you, which is why I wanted to do Mary Kay. And so I just, really, you guys, it was a matter of that I loved the Mary Kay culture, the Mary Kay environment, the Mary Kay energy. And I said yes in a season where I was just going to transition. I knew that I was in a season, I was 25 and looking forward to growth, personal development, and extra money can make a difference. But I didn't see the recession coming. So 3 weeks after making my decision, my simple yes, my $100 yes, which now is not $100 anymore, it's much cheaper. I was laid off from my job 3 weeks after beginning my business. You guys, I didn't see that coming. I didn't, as many of you maybe are going through a furlough, a layoff, unemployment, maybe your spouse is or a parent is, somebody in your home is, maybe you have been directly impacted income-wise through COVID-19. I was there exactly almost 12 years ago. And I didn't know if I would love Mary Kay. I didn't join it for the long-term commitment or investment. I didn't know if I'd be good at it. I didn't know if it would be something I did for 1 year or 1 month. All I knew was it was just something that God put in front of me that seemed like fun. And it seemed like, it wasn't going to replace my job. It's something I did for me. And with that layoff coming in, I realized I had an opportunity while looking for a job to begin my Mary Kay journey just to pay for the immediate. To be honest with you, my vision was, this is just for the immediate stuff. My debt, my apartment, my company car was picked up. So it was carless in the worst time of my life. And, I had some financial, decisions to make. And Mary Kay stepped in that time. And not just did it serve as it filled the need, it filled the gap for, due to loss of income, for cash, but also filled the gap with a source of community of incredible women that I didn't even know that were encouraging me, challenging me, stretching me, praying for me. I didn't have that in my, I love my friends, but nobody was saying, can I pray with you right now? And these are the kind of women that in the most difficult season of my life were those women, which opened my eyes to what Mary Kay, the other side of Mary Kay that I thought it was just for the sale, just for the money, which is the part that I wasn't as excited about. I wanted the communities, what I have loved the most. And so long story short, in the recession, I was looking for jobs. And in my industry, there was a freeze and a standstill. But while looking for a job, I discovered what I did not know I needed and loved about Mary Kay. God gives you always what you need more than what you think you need. And I didn't know I needed this. I needed the community. I needed the money, but I needed the faith-filled encouraging environment of Mary Kay, where women get to put their faith before their career, their families before their career. And that was very unlike the pharmaceutical industry and world where women were competitive, catty. It was just a different world. And this was where women came together to be celebrated, to be encouraged, to be uplifted, which is very different from the world that I came from. So long story short, this is actually 12 years later. Little did I know that I would need Mary Kay in a time like this. Having recently been home with my children for how many months? They just went back to school, so I'm really happy. I know some of you are not there yet, I understand. So And little did I know that I would have the freedom and opportunity and the flexibility and the choice to be home in this season and not let it affect my income. And if anything, I've seen my income increase in this season while women are scrambling to find options for their children or for their, elderly parents, trying to see who's going to help in the home. I'm so grateful that this has been an opportunity where I've been able to safely work from home from the start, from the beginning, and thrive through a season like this. And not that I'm not aware of what's going on in the world, but I'm grateful that we can offer women hope in this time. Whether it is, hey, you've been trying to find your product and you now are used to going to the store and being matched, and now you need a woman like us to come to your rescue and either Zoom match you or FaceTime match you or go to your door with a mask match you, or maybe an opportunity of hope, which is what I needed 12 years ago, and which keeps this opportunity that keeps bringing hope into my life 12 years later. So I hope that's like a quick little rundown in a nutshell, but I'll tell you in that time frame, 12 years later, we've earned, as a team, I've earned 8 free cars, 6 pink Cadillacs, picking up my 8th car in just a few weeks, waiting for the phone call. Oh gosh, countless diamonds, because who doesn't want diamonds? But more importantly, it's just the freedom, the flexibility, the opportunity that Mary Kay has provided is my favorite part. So.
All right, so we didn't know who was going to take the first question. I think we both want to, but I jumped the gun. I beat you, Lisa. All right, Christine, thank you so much for sharing a little bit about your story. So you did mention something really important, and I'm sorry about the background of the kids, but that's life in Mary Kay. That's the beauty of this business, is the flexibility. But you mentioned about how you got much more than just the financial blessings, and I think a lot of people don't see that until you're already there, because at the end of the day, it is a business. So we all come here for that extra income. But then we see what Mary Kay is really about. And we just had our 57th anniversary, and we still stand firm 57 years later to our philosophy that you kind of mentioned of God first, family second, career third. So would you say that, does that line up with who Christine is, and how has that maybe grown? Give me a little bit more detail about how you have been able to grow beyond that financial blessing only.
Yeah, I think the cool part is, I think in most, we think of job, we think of career, we think of financial independence. I don't think we always think in the potential of being our best selves, being our best version. And Mary Kay is that the more you're in it, you're constantly in an environment where self-care, self-growth, like personal growth is part of who we are. And I'll tell you, number one, my faith has grown incredibly. My faith in my Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ, which I was something I was never bold about. I would just quietly share it and know myself. But Mary Kay's given me boldness. So it's emboldened me. It's emboldened me, not just in faith, but it's given me courage. It's given me vision. It's given me a bigger vision for my life. I think, I always wanted to have a picture of success. And Mary Kay almost knocked those down and just grew a bigger picture of success, because there's an unlimited earning potential, an unlimited leadership potential, there's unlimited growth. And when you're in a space with achievers, with people that are working towards, have big vision, that's contagious. Courage is contagious, and it's also something that takes practice. But when you're in an environment where that's the norm, where courage is a norm, where vision is expected, and where I had none. I never was somebody who went to school and knowing this is the career I'm going to do forever. I actually had a few career options. I studied nursing. That's how I got into pharmaceuticals. And after nursing school, I was like, after clinicals, not my calling. I thank God for the nurses out there. Praise God. Not my calling. And then I studied psychology. I loved understanding people, but I knew I didn't want to pursue a master's in that or a doctorate in that. I just knew I was called to be part of people's lives. I didn't know how. So when I got into pharma, that was I guess this is my calling. So I just never knew that God would also, in this business, reveal to me gifts and talents that I didn't even know I had in me. You guys, I grew up extremely shy. I'm 37 now, to not date myself, but I joined at 25, and I had, made a decision in my early 20s to not label myself as shy anymore. I was shy, my mom will say from birth, till I was 22, 23, when I made a decision that I did not want to call myself shy anymore, because I was labeling myself. And they say people show up in the label they've been given. And I was called shy all my life. My friends knew me as shy. So guess what? I was just shy. And it was so scary to think of myself as another version, but I was tired. Anybody out there that's shy, you don't like being shy. Nobody likes being shy. I hated being shy, so I wanted to grow. And Mary Kay was an environment that I could safely grow. I didn't know that I could grow in this capacity. I thought I needed a public speaking course. I thought I needed to go to the leadership development course. Mary Kay is like all of that for free. And in an environment where you don't even realize you're growing every day, you're experiencing new every day, and you're around people that genuinely want your best interest, want to see your growth, because when you grow, your business grows. And so I would say business growth, gosh, I've been making executive income for 11 and a half years. I replaced my pharma income from the beginning with my first year and a half. So income growth, yes, but spiritual growth, professional growth, financial growth, personal growth. And I see now the impact as a mom that it has on my children, and the skills I'm able to pass on to them that I know are going to be with them beyond, my business years, So hope that answers that question.
Well, Christine, I want to touch base on being an entrepreneur during a pandemic, being a mom, being a wife, trusting God in the process, right? So people look and they're like, wow, okay, she talked about diamonds and executive income, but we don't see the story behind that. So there's probably been tears, there's probably been frustration, and I don't think that a lot of people get to see that because they get to see the accolades. So what can you say about the journey? Like, how can you tell somebody, trust the process?
There's no way to achieve anything by being in your comfort zone. So every time I always think of the different seasons in my business where I wanted something more. I think courage was necessary from the beginning, for my first yes, to say yes to this business. For those that don't know, that maybe know my story or don't know, I almost didn't say yes, and I almost quit in the beginning. I almost quit in my first 3 months, which I haven't even started. What do you quit when you haven't even started? But I was just in my own head. So I think first I had to overcome my own thoughts. The power of our thoughts and the power of our belief system and the power of the things we tell ourselves, having a growth mindset versus to like, oh, can I do this? I'm not like her. I don't know if I can see myself. Oh, but she's, she got lucky, or she's been here longer, or she's like this. I don't have that personality. I'm not as good as she is. I'm not good with social media. Like, we just play this comparison game. And so many times in my journey, whenever I find myself in that zone, it's where I flatline, and really staying in your own lane, that God has given you all the gifts and talents you need to be successful. And remembering that. My husband always tells me, you have all that you need to do what God has called you to do. You have all that you need to do what He's called you to do. And I say that to you in whatever season you're in your life. But gosh, if I could read you my accolades, they seem long, but my failures are longer than my accolades. And I'd rather read you those, because I think it's the getting up stories. It's the getting up stories. When you fall down, you get back up and you keep your vision in front of you. That is where people are inspired. It's not so much how you win, but it's how you fall. And I teach my kids that. I'm like, you may not have done well on that test, but guess what? You're gonna do even better next week. Or hey, you know what? Maybe that's the sports that day at tennis, you didn't, it wasn't your best day, but hey, you're gonna practice and be better next time. That's just how life is. I mean, I can tell you times where I set a pink Cadillac goal and then missed it. I can tell you times where I've set really big goals for my team or myself, and I've fallen flat on my face and gone backwards. I can tell you many times, but I always say in all of it, I believe there's a lesson and there's an opportunity to grow. Every obstacle is a choice to grow. Change is going to be expected, but growth is optional. You can go through a lot of life. You can go through obstacles. You can go through circumstances, but you have to choose to grow through that. So my biggest, I think, a couple pivotal decisions I made in my business were number one, to get over my own head and not worry about the things that were holding me back, like what people think about me and the judgment of me going from Pfizer Pharmaceuticals to a Mary Kay career, which in my brain back then was not equivalent, which I realize now it's so much better. Why would I even have wanted that life? For those that in pharma, forgive me, but I love my life even more right now. 100%, 1,000%. I love who I am more right now than I was then. So a pivotal decision also was when I was about to quit. And I know making the decision, why not to quit? Why did I almost quit? Because I was in my own head. Fear and this uncertainty, but not knowing the future, or will I have a secure income? Oh my gosh, well, guess what? I didn't have a secure income in pharma. Secure is what I can control. I can control today that I can go to work, and that my business, I can put the time and effort I want into my business, and I can control that versus to the lack of control I had in my my financial situation 12 years ago when I was in somebody else's, paycheck or book. So, and then the decision to, just to keep going through different seasons, because I've done this, being broken, single and laid off, 25-year-old going through a quarter life crisis, to then planning a wedding with my now husband of almost 10 years, February would be 10 years, which we paid in cash. We both didn't have parents that could pay for our wedding, and we both were broke and laid off at the same time. So our businesses paid our wedding in cash. In Miami, it's hard to do. And a beautiful wedding too, to add to that. And then having children back to back, having a now 6-year-old and 4-year-old, which, I went through that process where I wanted to be a nursing mom. I want to be homeroom mom. I've done all that, and love that I've been able to do that while doing life. So are there obstacles? Yes, especially when you add kids to the equation. I can tell you that for those that are going through this season with children at home, just prior to 2 weeks ago, I was in the thick of it. I cried. I was like, can I do this? Am I a good mom? Like, I want to to my children because it's hard. Life is hard. Life is hard. I always say, I think it's harder to be help children in homeschooling than it is to be a Mary Kay $1 million director, by the way. But so if you can do that, you can do this. You can do this. So, but I think every season has challenges, but every challenge is an opportunity to grow. It's almost like a signal. Like, there's a challenge, there's an obstacle, there's resistance. How do I move forward? How do I move forward in everything, from my first decision to the continued daily yeses I make to keep my business as it goes forward? So hope that answers that. But
oh my God. So can I say amen, hallelujah? I'm like, preach it, Sister Christine. Thank you. I love it. Yes, every opportunity, every obstacle is an opportunity to grow. It's what you decide at the end of the day. Are you going to grow, or are you going to let it stop you? Okay, so you talked about it takes a lot of courage, right? So how would you define courage for Christine? And would you agree with the statement that courage is really not the absence of fear? Like some people say, oh, I have to be courageous, but they think that then they have to they can't feel fear. But necessarily it's not like that. Like, you being courageous, you still feel fear. Like, how do you manage that, and how do you define courage?
I think that's such a great point. I think growing up, I thought there's some people were just more courageous than others, because I was that person that when it was like every Friday I had to say the Bible verse in front of my class, I would vomit, throw up, feel sick. Like, Christine did not have, when we would do acronyms of our names, like with your letter, like C, Christine, like I always say, oh, caring Christine, not courageous Christine. That was definitely not a way to describe myself at all. Like, I think ever. But I learned that courage takes practice. The more you're in a courage zone, the easier your next courageous yes is. So I think your first courageous yes leads to the next. Like, I think that takes practice. And I think courage is also contagious. When you're around people that elevate you, stretch you, and believe in you, I feel like you can almost embody this, skill of courage. But no, I really do believe that, like I always say, fear, I name my team Fearless. Not because I was fearless, but because I felt fear and I knew I had to push through anyways. Just like, they say that, fear is something that physiologically we can't talk ourselves out of. We have to just feel the fear and do it anyways. And the same is for courage. We have to decide to have courageous moments. And you know what? They may not be these courageous, a 30-second courageous moment. Like, even before this call right now, I made a courageous moment to reach out to somebody that is on my, my list of like, oh, she's so intimidating, but so powerful. And I'm like, Christine, to be courageous forever. Just be courageous in this moment. I have 30 seconds. Have you read the book? Mel Robbins talks about the 5-second rule. 5-second rule teaches you, like, it just takes 5 seconds to make a decision. Like you're having a moment. Like, do I do it or do I not? Like, do I sign up for Mary Kay? Do I not? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Yes. And then don't think about it. Then just walk away. So I think I've had a lot of moments where I had to just have that courageous moment to reach out to somebody that I didn't know if they would say yes to me or not, or to decide to pursue a goal that wasn't sure if I could even take it on or not. But I always kept saying, like, I'm that much closer to who I want to become. This one courageous yes, this one courageous moment is that much closer to who I'm trying to become. And am I fully courageous right now? Absolutely not. I can think of so many things that I still am scared of, but you know what? I'm working towards it. It's a daily decision, and courage takes practice. Just like anything else. I never really thought of it that way, but when I heard that from a leadership seminar, I was like, yes, it takes practice. I can be more courageous. I'm not just the crowd. I don't just have the courage that I have. I can grow this courage. So to all of you who feel like you need a little bit more courage, you can grow your courage. You can grow your boldness. And whatever you lack, just pray for it. Like whatever you lack, I believe that God will give it to you. God is a God of courage. God will embolden you. So if you lack the courage in certain things in life, ask him to give you the words. Ask him to give you your courage. Ask him to increase your belief. That's my anecdote to everything. Pray through it and just like have him work through you. So
Christine, so I want to go back to your family. I want to know, and so the people of the world can know, how has your family, your children, your parents, your husband, how have they been affected by Mary Kay?
So I think that the first fun story is that when I told my parents after leaving nursing school when I was almost done, and after my full scholarship and all, and after choosing to then leave for pharmaceutical industry to do Mary Kay, my parents and family I think were first just shocked. Like, are you sure you want to do that? Are you sure that's a good choice? Are you sure? And it's funny because the are you sure moment, even through my layoff and being in that moment, there were times that mom would call me, so are you making enough money to survive with this Mary Kay thing? I'm like, Mom, I'm good. I got a Cadillac. Like, we're good, or hey, I got my first car. Like, we're doing, Mom, I'm making it replace my income. But she just couldn't get it. It took my parents, just for those out there who maybe have parents or people that, like my parents now are like, they've always believed in me, but I don't know if they believed in Mary Kay, the opportunity. And so they were like, whatever you put your mind to, you're going to do great. But in case you need to go back to a regular job, which doesn't mean you have to leave your job to do this, but they were like, in case you go back, you have to go back to your regular job, we would understand. I'm like, I would never. The freedom that I have right now, I would never, So I think my parents and my in-laws got it when they were on stage with me in front of 50,000 people probably, or maybe 20,000, whatever it was, when I was called as Queen of Mary Kay. My crown is up here. My crown is there. There's one there. I never know which way I am pointing. So when I was crowned the Queen of Mary Kay and they got flown in to be there on stage with me for that pivotal moment, that's when my parents understood. So that's them. Then I'll tell you my husband and my children. My husband and I got laid off at the same time from our different industries, and we met. I actually joined Mary Kay December 12th. I met him December 12th of 2008 before the crisis. God has a funny way of working things out. And long story short, he had to rebuild his own future. And I, while dating him, was in the same journey. And I'm grateful because we were entrepreneurs building our life together and separately, but together. So we understood each other's challenges and struggles. So he was from the beginning an encourager that I don't believe that you need a husband to be great at Mary Kay, but I believe that the support was so important. And I didn't just tell him I was going to do things. I showed him. I didn't just say like, oh, I'm going to miss a date night on Friday night so I can do a party. No, I'm like, let me show you the results of it. Let me show you that what's coming from this growth. Let me show you, hey, I'm going to pay that bill, or hey, I'm paying the mortgage, or hey, I'm paying for the wedding. I'm going to give you 15 grand right now for the wedding in cash today from a paycheck. Like, those are the kind of things that men need to see. Like, this works, this works. And so I think, it started small. With the first, like, I'm paying my first bill, I'm paying for our first trip, I'm paying to like the big goals now that we have, from moving to a new home, remodeling the whole home, to paying our kids Christian tuition, so a lot of things, So I feel like that he's always been supportive and giving me space to run, but I wanted to always show him that it worked, And my children have never known anything but growing up in pink. They came home in pink Cadillacs. That's their whole world that they've been in. They just love the Mary Kay. They love that Mary Kay mommy's home. They love that they get to be, Bella wants to be part of every skincare class. She wants to help me with my lip glosses. She wants to be, she's like, one day, she's like, when you're old, like abuela, will you teach me how to do Mary Kay? I'm like, I will teach you, girlfriend, way more than that. Before that, I will not be 80 to teach you. I will teach you now. Teach you the skills now. And her friends are like, your mom has the coolest job. She's a pink car and plays with makeup. She's like, yeah, that's cool. One day I'll do it. And I think it's just so fun because they're growing up in an entrepreneur home. My husband and I both work from home, which we feel very blessed to do that. And, it's not very, common situation for many, but we're blessed that we're created in an environment where our kids see us working for ourselves, setting goals, reaching goals, missing goals. My daughter asks me every day when the big pink car is going to come, because I have the other pink car. But no, it needs to be the Escalade. And there's no more accountability than your children holding you accountable to a goal, because they'll ask you every day. I'm like, we're paying for a car in 3 weeks. She's like, the Escalade? I'm like, well, it looks like one, but it's not that one. She's like, well, when are you getting that one? So I love the accountability, but I love that they're part of my business. It's a family business. We make deliveries together. She goes on my videos with me together. It's just a lot of fun. And I love that the skills that I've learned here, the life skills, have made me a better parent for sure. Had Mary Kay not been in my life, I do not foresee that I would have made certain decisions or just even know. I think become a better parent because you're learning about yourself, about people, how to communicate. Like you're just learning to be a better version of you, which overall makes you a better wife, leader, person, individual, parent, coworker, daughter, wife, everything. It makes you better. This environment makes you better. Mary Kay makes people better, which is why I believe that everybody should do this for a season in their life, even if for a small one. Everyone should do this.
I totally agree. And okay, so Mary Kay, announced something that it's unprecedented. Like right now, today, it's so much easy. It's so easy to start a Mary Kay career, business, side hustle, whatever you want to call it. So with your experience, Christine, all that you've gained, everything that you've been, sharing with us, all the blessings that you've had, all the growth that you've had, and now to think how easy it is to be able to do that and to start your own journey. Like, how are you feeling? Because I was blown away. I'm like, really? Because, pre-COVID days. So we had a little bit of a different experience. But now that we know everything that you can gain with this company, and it's like, what?
You know what?
So
I love that question because this is the best time. This is the time to have a Mary Kay business. We are, number one, people are turning to self-care more than ever before. People want home opportunities. People want home-based businesses. Home-based businesses are essential right now. People are turning to skincare more and their spa experience has been altered. They're going to the mall experience has been changed. Local to me, 4 major stores have closed down, like major department stores. That is significant. So people are looking for convenience, quality customer service, independence, a safe place to build a business around the priorities that they really value. And Mary Kay is exactly that. And having been in it, Sharon, like as well, you said for 12 years, there's never been an easier time to have a business. Like it is all from my phone, my computer, even just using social media, it's never been easier. And I'm not somebody who is this guru of technology and social media, but there's so many ways. We're now not bound by zip code, not bound by anything. It has never been an easier time to be part of this business and more of a important time to be part of this business because it's just smart to have an additional source of income. It is smart. It is smart. It is smart. No matter what your goals are, no matter how secure your job may feel, no matter how much you love your business, it is smart to have an additional source of income. And people are more open to that than ever before. And it's just essential to have a home-based business because you just never know. As I 12 years ago experienced, you never know. What you think is secure may not be secure. And it's just smart to know your options. But absolutely, this is the best time. If you are out there thinking, considering, you've thought about it before, you're never going to feel ready tomorrow. Your courage is not going to change between today and tomorrow. You're not going to wake up thinking, oh, I'll let you know when I'm ready. You're never going to call a person until you're ready because only the more you don't decide to do it, the more distance you'll feel from the decision. And there's actually a law, the law of diminishing intent by Jim Rohn, that says that if you don't make a decision within 24 hours of thinking through something that you've been thinking about, there's a huge 50% chance you'll never pursue that thing. You'll never do that thing. That's a huge percentage. To think that 50% of me almost made a decision to not be where I'm at today. That little moment where I was like, do I not, almost missed out on all that I'm experiencing right now. And I think of how easy it would have been to quit in that moment that I almost quit. To have said no when I was thinking of saying no. Because I was back and forth. I'm super indecisive. This is my personality. I'm like, do I do it? Oh, now I'm nervous. No. So if that's you, I was about to back out the minute I said yes. Then my box came in and it was so cute. But I was back and forth. So if that is you, I want you to know just the courageous yes right now is only $30. To put in perspective, mine was 100, yours is 30. There's a big difference. And it's all you need. And it gives you a website for a whole year. It gives you all the tools you need, resources, digital assets, support from your mentorship that comes in for free, which is the best part, which is priceless. Gives you all the resources to process credit cards and debit cards. For $30, you have all that you need. So there's no question that this is the best time. The least, you don't have to even think about it. Even if it's not for you, $30, what can you gain? And what do you lose? You lose nothing. $30, what is the craziest thing you spent on $30 on since COVID? For me, it's a bunch of masks. What the heck? So probably more than $30, So, $30 can really open up a lot of doors. So my question to you is, thinking of courage today, what doors will your easy, because it is easy, $30 yes do for you? So that's my question to all of you.
That's awesome. So I have one last question so we can close out our stories that inspire with you. Is that if 37-year-old Christine could give one piece of advice to a 25-year-old Christine, what would that be?
To not worry so much about the future, to not try to figure out, is this for me? Could I do this? Will this work? Mary Kay has been around for 57 years. 57 years. Not a matter of question of does it work, is will I choose to work it? Will I choose to do the work? Because it's been proven that it works. And Mary Kay has more women millionaires than any other company. Now that my goal back then was to be a millionaire, I didn't think it was possible. But now that I'm here, I'm like, why not? But I share this with you because I was so worried about, can I, will I, should I? When if I just trust the process to know that this many women could be successful for so long, a reputable company, a secure company for so many years, then why can't I? Women of all personalities, of all nationalities, of all backgrounds, in all countries have proven this works, all languages, this works. It's a matter of you choosing to make it work. And you don't need to be a pink Cadillac driver or earn diamonds. But hey, my first yes was just to pay a credit card bill, 1 out of my 10. That was my first yes. And then I realized when I paid one, I could pay 2. I could pay half of another one. And little by little, the wins built my confidence, built my courage. So it wasn't like I would tell myself, Christine, don't get so caught up in all the things you don't know. It's almost like God doesn't give you, God on purpose does not give you the whole picture because you can't handle it. In the same way that you don't know what this will bring you, but don't try to figure it out because you're not going to know the answer. Just start. Just take your next step. It's just $30 to put in perspective. That's all that it is. And if it's not for you, I'm glad that you tried. I appreciate your courage. And you know what? You can go back to being a happy customer, but you'll never know if you don't try. And that is a regret I did not want to have, not knowing by not trying.
I love that. So, oh my God, I listened to you and I'm like, okay, so if I was someone who was curious and maybe like God's putting this on my heart, but I'm just kind of like, I don't know what to do. And I think we all go through that when we're starting something new, anything new, right? But I would just probably be like, what can I not do this month that will save me $30 to then start a business? I mean, $30 starts you a business. Maybe you can not spend $30 on coffee this month and start a business. Or, you know what I'm saying? It's that simple, you guys. $30. That's amazing. Obviously, we're looking at it through the perspective of experience already, but you should listen because it's 3 different stories, 3 different people, and it's for 57 years. I mean, we're only 3 people. There's lots of women in almost 40 countries with similar experiences. So, oh my God, Christine, thank you for your wisdom. Thank you for your time. And you're a super busy woman, a busy mom, a busy, wife and leader. And you took the time to bless us these last 30 minutes. So thank you so much for all of your insight and just your transparency and for being fearless and for being, an example of being fearless and feeling the fear, but doing it anyways, which is what being courageous is. I know that I am so blessed to be part of the same national area that you're part of, which is the Driven National Area. And then I know that you're soon going to be the Fearless National Area. It's so exciting to watch you in action. When I was a baby in Mary Kay, not too long after you came in, then I came in, and you've been an inspiration since day one. You're like one of those people where you're like, I need to be Christine. I'm going to just put my Christine on and put my Christine courage on, So I know that you said that before you were only carrying Christine. You still are carrying Christine, but I've always seen you in the light of courageous Christine. So keep doing what you're doing. And thank you for your time. Remember, like she said, every obstacle is an opportunity to grow. It's your decision. It's what you decide. We all fail, right? But we decide to learn and keep going. You come back stronger. And the 5-second rule, I love that. I'm adopting it. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Make your decision and go. Thank you, Christine, again for your time. And thank you all who watched.
Thank you for the invitation and the honor to share my story today. But the most inspiring story is the one you are writing yourself. It's your story, not mine. It's what you do with this information and how you move forward from here. So invite us out there. Courageous, yes, $30.
Yes. Thank you guys, everybody.
Bye, everybody.